Hello, it's Blue Orange 22. I saw this tweet today and I thought I'd make a quick video um, talking about something that comes up a lot when people are talking about MRAs and the perception of the men's rights movements and the whole question about why are MRAs anti-feminist? What is this conflict between MRAs and feminism? I've done some videos on this before. If you want to go through my past videos, I've talked about this. But what is the whole debate between MRAs and feminists? Why do you hear so much conflict? And it's a complicated answer because there's not just one answer to that question. And kind of the answer is we're not really anti-feminist. We're not against a feminist movement. We're not against a women's movement. We support equality, and we're against sexism and discrimination of all kinds, including against women. So I'm totally in favor of a women's movement. Tweets like this kind of show an example of what the debate is sometimes. You see, it boggles the minds how men can take something like a women's movement and make it about men. Say, what about the men? And then the tweet below saying it's because you say it's about equality. Now that's kind of the point here. Feminists sometimes say that we don't need a men's rights movement because feminism helps men too. And feminism addresses men's issues, by breaking down gender roles, breaking down toxic masculinity. But then a lot of the time when we try and talk about these issues, or we point out where, a feminist said something or did something that didn't totally match that, we get this response a lot. Oh, you're just trying to make it about men, or what about the men, or you're expecting feminism to be about men. Well, if you say that we don't need a men's movement because feminism helps men too, there would kind of be an expectation for that. Yes, you would be kind of responsible for addressing male issues too, if you're saying that we don't need a men's movement because you're going to take care of it. If you're saying feminism is all we need, then you do kind of have to address everything. Now, the thing is, I actually agree with that tweet. I actually agree with that first tweet. How feminism, it's a movement for women. It's not about men. It's a women's movement for women's issues. And that's actually fine. I don't think feminism should be expected to address men's issues. I think there should be a separate and independent men's movement, such as the men's rights movement. So that's kind of where the debates between feminists and MRAs come into play. And I'm going to do some more videos about this in the future because there are some times when there is direct conflict, and in my opinion, and I'll always present the case with the facts and the links when I do videos about this, I do think there are times when feminist groups or organizations support laws, or they say something, or they lobby for something that goes against equality for men. And that's something that I will be presenting and discussing. But we're not against the idea of a women's movement. We're not against the idea of feminism. And we certainly do not oppose women's rights. The men's rights movement really kind of believes in equality for all. But if a feminist is going to say, well, feminism is a woman's movement, and it's not about men, and stop always talking to us about men's issues, okay, that's fair. But then don't protest the men's rights movement just for existing. A lot of sometimes feminists are very hostile towards MRAs and say, well, we don't need a men's movement. We don't need a men's rights movement. Well, if you're not going to talk about things, then we will. And obviously we need to exist to do that. So that's kind of a very general introduction into that. And I've posted some older videos about that as well. I actually put a couple of them in the description below. You can see the links. Tell me what you think.